Hello, 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 welcome back to LUDIC. We haven't been here for a very long time, so let me just remind you where we are in this series and what's going on. So where I'm standing right now is pretty much the spawn point for the world, and this is our spawn town. There are some brilliant builds around here from the LUDIC members, and if I swing round this way, you might see a puff of smoke from a chimney over there, and that is my own build. That's my own spawn town build, and we're just gonna walk backwards in the strange way that Minecraft does all the way over here so we can see it. There we are. That's my spawn town place thingy, forge, doodah. And one day I will actually texture this building properly. It needs a lot of work, or maybe I won't, who knows. Anyway, back along the road there under the bridge that we just spawned in on, or at least didn't spawn in on, we kind of started the video on, is our central nether portal. And yeah, this walking really is weird, isn't it? I've got to stop doing this. We've still got a lot of work to do in here in the nether hub too, but down the west tunnel, that's where I live. Let's go and see our base, shall we? So I've got two bases quite near to each other here on LUDIC, and this area here in my valley where the chunks are still loading apparently, this is my main build area where I'm planning to make my main base. You can see I've got a little kind of bit of junk set up over there behind me, and our first house in the area over here, which I'd love to say is my first house. I mean, I built it, but Eric Bannister claimed it pretty much straight away. But spinning around from there and just over that hill in that direction is my other base. Let's go and see it. So this is my industrial base, and as you can see I've marked out the chunks in here, and we've got a couple of things that we've already built. A potion machine that we built in a previous episode, and this thing that makes clay and mud. And today we're going to be building another couple of things in here, and it's time to do some digging. That's better, but I think this needs a little bit of decoration now. And there we are. Doesn't this look better? Well, okay, obviously I'm not doing this for decoration. We're doing this because we're making a farm here. In fact, we're making two farms in one. So this side up here where there's these gaps between these two bits of rails, this is going to be a sugarcane farm. And if I pop over this way a little bit more, we can see the rails get a little bit more intense at this point, and this is going to be a bamboo farm. And what's going to happen is the crops will be growing on top of all this, so we're going to cover all this over again, and we'll have a flying machine that comes along and harvests both the bamboo and the sugar cane all in one, and it's going to be amazing. So let me finish building it up and then I'll show you what it looks like. Welcome back. You weren't away for long, were you? There we have it then. The top bit of the farm is done. So we've covered over those rails with grass. We've put in our water sources for the sugar, and we've planted up sugar at that end and bamboo at that end. Over at this end of the farm, we've got this contraption behind me, which some of you might recognize. It's a flying machine. So that will be triggered, and it will basically go along and it will harvest all of those crops behind us. Nothing complicated at all. All I've done is put an observer in the wall here behind me, and that is keeping an eye on that sugar plant right next to it. And as soon as that sugar plant grows, it will send a redstone signal along this line that goes underground and over to the flying machine. The reason I've done it on a sugar plant, not a bamboo plant, is quite simply that sugar grows that much more slowly. So it kind of gets the balance right between the two crops. The flying machine works great, and in fact it's already done its first harvest, but I've done nothing about collecting stuff underneath and storing it yet. So although we've got our rail lines in, we've got hopper minecarts down there, we haven't actually got the mechanism to trigger them when the flying machine starts going, and to actually store all the stuff we're harvesting. So I'd better sort that out next. And we are all done. We've got the redstone line in that you can see behind me. That triggers all of the hopper minecarts to collect stuff when the flying machine gets set off. And in terms of storage, well, you can see that behind me as well. I haven't bothered with anything fancy, just all of those hopper minecarts are feeding directly into individual chests for now. And I might spruce that up a little bit later and bring all the stuff together, either with a hopper line or another hopper minecart, or maybe a water chute thing. But, you know, for now, the row of chests will do me just fine. And of course, if you want a full tutorial on how to make these things, then check out the description, the links are there. Now you might be wondering why I want all this sugar and bamboo. Well, I want the sugar to combine with the next farm I'm going to make, and I need the bamboo to make it. But to make that farm, I need a few materials. So I'm going to try and find some. And this is just what I'm looking for, right outside of our trim distance. I need a little bit of ice. And going from the very coldest of oceans to the very warmest, I'm after some coral fans again. And having gathered all the resources that I need, I want to use them to build a mob farm, like that one that I built 8 months ago. Yes, it really is 8 months before the last clip you saw, and well, these ones. But never mind, we've made our mob farm, there it is. Let's pop over and have a look. And the reason I've built this mob farm is so that mainly we can get gunpowder. We obviously combine that with our sugar from the farm below. There it is, there's a decent view of it. And yeah, we can make rockets and then make a rocket shop. And when I say we can make a rocket shop, what I really mean is, over here in the shopping district, I have made a rocket shop. It's a rocket shaped shop and it's full of chests, and the only one that's got any stock in is that one there. Oh, people have been buying it. I haven't even put a price on there. Wait, 1 diamond per stack? Well, that's great. I was going to sell it for 1 diamond for 3 stacks. Awesome. I'll take it. To stock up the shop, we're going to need to get loads and loads and loads of gunpowder out of the mob farm. And in order to do that and to separate it from the rest of the junk it produces, we're going to need a proper sorter system. And for that, I'm going to need a fair bit of redstone. I've only got 46 bits and that might not be enough. So I think I'm going to go mining and see if we can get some more. So what I've done is put in the standard item categorizer that you can see behind me, and we've got our minecarts in both sides leading into the hopper line that just comes along here, and that seems to be able to cope with the output of the farm without getting backed up. We're not categorizing every single item you can get out of the mob farm, certainly not the stackables, they go in the chests at the end there. But we've got our gunpowder, bones, rotten flesh, string. We get the occasional squid spawning in there as there's water about and we are over the ocean after all. We get, of course, arrows, spider eyes, the occasional little bit of iron, and then all sorts of other junk, which for the moment I'm storing in there. What I will do is get some furnaces in this area behind me so that we can use the arrows for fuel and the iron and gold armor, well, for stuff to burn really, just to give us that extra little output of gold and iron, because although I've got an iron farm over behind me, I don't have any source of gold, so this would be, well, a half decent one. You won't get much out of this. The other thing I'm conscious of is obviously we've got a couple of torches around here to light things up, but we don't want that light going up into the mob farm behind me, so I might enclose this area as well just to keep the light out of the mob farm. But apart from those small tweaks that I still need to do, the mob farm's working pretty well. We've already got 3.5 stacks of gunpowder in there, and that's after only about 10 minutes of AFKing. So we should be able to... Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that's not good. Anyway, as I was saying, it's absolutely vital that this end of the farm is sealed off so that the mobs behind me can't see me, the skeletons don't start trying to shoot at me, accidentally shoot a creeper and cause the whole thing to blow up. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Right, let's go and try and repair that, shall we? Oh, not again. And after that little repair job, I've got my blast furnaces in place, and I've emptied out the armor and the bows. So the bows I'm using as fuel. The iron and gold armor I am using as, well, stuff to smelt down, like I said. And look, we've already got over a stack of gold nuggets and half a stack of iron nuggets, so it's worth doing. And yes, you might have spotted a couple of extra items in here. Let's spot them again. Here we are, some diamond leggings that have appeared, and somewhere in here there's a diamond sword. There it is, pretty good one as well. I guess I'm not the only one that's been having accidents in the mob farm. Eric Bannister's been helping me to build this thing, so I'm guessing those are his. Okay, so I've got a few more rockets, and I've got some TNT to sell as well, and I've also got some new doggos. Really new doggos for the new textures. Don't they look great? So let's take these with me and we'll pop up to the shop and stock up. Grab those out of there and we'll put them in here. We are selling them 1 diamond per 3 stacks, so I want to make sure they are in sets of 3. So let's just do that. That's great. And oh, well, it's messy, doesn't it? Let's put where do we want the gaps to be? Something like that. That'll do. So now all I've got to do is AFK for a bit at the mob farm to get all the gunpowder and collect the sugar from the sugarcane farm, turn that into paper, turn them all into fireworks, and then zip through the nether to sell them at my shop. And then I can let the diamonds keep rolling in. And talking of stuff rolling in, look at that.